This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching the best movies ever made most of the time. I'm one of your hosts, Stenny, and joining me are
John
and TC.
And this week we are diverting ourselves to a new movie because this movie is number 82 on the top movies of all time list, according to IMDb, currently.
Oh, 82? I thought you said 72. Is it dropping already?
It was 72 yesterday, it was 85 earlier today, and now it's 82, so it's kind of going up and down, I guess.
Trying to find its place.
Yeah. But this movie is the 2019 movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino. I think it's in theaters now. Actually, I know it is because this is the second week it's been out when this episode comes out. Why are we watching this? Can one of you explain it? Quentin Tarantino.
Because it's Quentin Tarantino, it's Brad Pitt, it's Leonardo DiCaprio. It's set in the golden age of Hollywood, maybe if you call it that. I don't know. Maybe that's not the golden age, but whatever. An age in Hollywood. So I was one that suggested
a fake age in Hollywood.
Yeah.
False.
Yeah. We should watch it. So that's why.
And should we have watched it?
Well,
no. First, before we talk about it,
wait. I need to say, wait. If you are interested in seeing this film, go see it because there's spoilers here that make the film less fun.
And I'll say that if you are interested in seeing this film, maybe think twice.
Contentious episode time. It's gonna be a fighter.
Oh,
we're gonna have a bleeder.
I mean, that's why I didn't want to go first.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's fair enough. But anyway, so a faded television actor and his stunt double strive to achieve fame and success in the film industry during the final years of Hollywood's golden age in 1969 Los Angeles.
Wasn't the golden age of Hollywood back in the 40s and 30s and shit?
Yeah, but see, this is the end of it. It was a long age. You had 20 years or so.
It's whatever Tarantino says it is, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Which is why this movie got made.
It was fading. Yeah. Well, TC, it's good to have your sourpuss ass back.
Yeah, nothing impresses me. You know that.
I know. Well, after all your cheery, happy Goodwill Hunting talk, it's
I had to get back down to the level.
Good to have a rebound. Yeah.
You weren't impressed in how much Margot Robbie looks like Sharon Tate in this movie?
How much everybody looks like everybody.
Sure.
There's a Hollywood versus Fact. It's a website.
I didn't know Doppelganger was like part of the process, but sure.
There's this great website, History versus Hollywood, it's called. And if you go there, you can look at the real faces of each of the actors, like the person that did like Sharon Tate, Steve McQueen, James Stacey. Like there's a fairly decent amount of lookalikes going on here, which is pretty cool.
That is kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make a movie good, does it, John?
So, let me speak. May I
there was a pause there, so I started yelling at you. Go ahead.
Yes. So I will just reiterate, if you like this idea of the film and you like Quentin Tarantino and Brad Pitt and DiCaprio, I think you should go see the film and you should stop listening to us until you do so.
I would disagree, and I think TC would. Continue, John.
Yes. Oh, no.
Yes.
Am I the only one that's really weird if I'm the only one?
I'm going to go in the middle,
like
John,
this.
because I'm pretty freaking split on this movie, I got to say.
That's good.
Oh.
I'm not.
TC sounds like he hates it. John sounds like he really liked it. John, I
really
want to
liked
hear
it. This is totally uncharted territory.
No,
for
this
us.
is good, John. You need to be positive as you can be.
No, I'm confused and scared. I'm not used to this.
Do it, dude.
He's shaking in his boots.
Get ready to talk by yourself positively for a little bit there, bud. Go ahead.
John, you ever stood in front of a wall and talked at it? Because that's about what's going to
happen. I know, because I've done this so many times where it's like, especially some like a hunt, it's like, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to be quiet.
I don't know. What about Rush? You liked Rush. This would be a Rush episode for you.
Yeah, that's true. I really did like Rush. That's true. I don't know if I went along with this movie as much as Rush. So, man.
Rush is better than this movie is what the positive review of this.
Oh, my God. Really?
That's what you said, John. That's what you said.
Wrong.
Just
I'm
now.
so sorry. I felt bad because I was the one that suggested we do this, and I made you guys actually go to a theater and watch a movie you didn't like.
Whatever,
that
dude.
was
I'm
very
seeing Quentin
long.
Tarantino
To
first
be fair,
week.
John, I will say that I'm glad that I went out to see a movie. So
I will say I think this movie was indulgent. Like, I think things went on longer in various scenes than they necessarily needed to. But I was happy. Maybe I'm just happy to be out of the house, sitting by myself.
Yeah, there we go. The truth comes
Nobody's crying. Nobody wants anything from me. I'm just happy. I'm sitting there in like the reclining chair of our Chateau Theater.
John's
here.
by himself being like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Tarantino, make it longer. Fuck that, dude. Make it 7
Exactly.
hours
Are there
long.
any
Let's
special
see. Yeah.
features?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
guys keep it going longer, or maybe restart
that
from the
scene
beginning?
with the Great Escape? Let's do the whole movie with Leo there. You
Oh,
really,
that would be awesome.
you only need one shot, man, to just show the idea. But they did like that whole scene of the Great Escape, which it kept going on.
They were
which I was-
impressed with the technology, I think, and I was pretty impressed
Yeah.
by it, too.
Yeah, I mean, I was too. I'll say that much. But
it's like, yeah, let's just do the whole Great Escape here in the middle here, because why not? So there were a number of things that my favorite thing about this movie is how the ending happens. And I did not anticipate what the ending was going to be.
wow.
Your favorite part was the ending?
Yes, and that's new for a grumpy old tired man,
That's
right?
the opposite
made
of
it
how I
through.
feel.
You made it through.
I know.
No, sorry, John. I keep talking over you. I just can't.
No,
believe
it's
that.
okay. And,
That is
and-
impressive, though. So that you were paying attention this 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Well, and I also knew the history of how Sharon Tate in real life is killed and her baby is killed, and they're all massacred as part of. Well, that's what happened in real life. So I was like really tense and worried when. But by the way, the Stones "You're Out of Time" playing as they're leading up to that scene I thought was great. So they're playing the Stones' "Baby, You're Out of Time."
So
and I'm like,
did you not think for a second that they weren't going to do exactly what happened in reality? Or did you
thought they
totally
were.
expect them to do
No.
exactly what happened?
I thought I was like, how are they going to handle this? I thought they were going to do it. I did not, and maybe I'm completely naive for some reason, but I was thinking, how are they going to do this? I thought Sharon Tate was going to die.
Huh.
That's
Okay.
what I thought was going to happen. And after I got out of there, I'm like, I should have known better. Like after Inglourious Bastards, where they kill Hitler or whatever, that Tarantino will be happy to do whatever with history he wants to. And this is a fairy tale, right?
Mhm.
But I did not. I was like worried. I was like, oh God, Sharon Tate's going to get it. And I just, oh man, I'm just, I thought that they would be like, because it's going to be like they're just bystanders, like Brad Pitt and Leo's characters are just bystanders as they watch them drive up or something. That's what I thought was going to happen. And I didn't like the idea of this. So to me, that was really cool. I liked it. And then like, because they do the scene the way they do it. And then they're like, then they do the title of the scene of the movie, which I don't think they did at the beginning. So it's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where they're like saying, look, it's a fairy tale, dickhead. See? And I like that. It just like smacks you with this idea that, yeah, this was a fairy tale. And from Leo's point of view, like he goes and meets Sharon Tate, and who knows what happens then? Maybe he gets to star, in the in what's his name, the director
Polanski.
Polanski
Biggest
movie,
problem
right?
with the movie. We'll get to that later.
And then maybe Polanski doesn't go and do terrible things. after that,
Exactly,
'cause his
John.
wife doesn't
Exactly.
get
How are
killed,
you
right?
okay with that idea? How can
No,
this movie
it's all
possibly?
good.
It's not all
maybe
good.
he's good. Well, no, maybe Polanski, because he loves Sharon, everything's good, right?
Oh,
He's not going to do all the
Jesus.
bad things he does because Sharon,
Are you
after
crazy,
Sharon gets
dude?
killed. Well, why not? It could be a fairy tale. It could be good. I don't
Because
know.
that's not what happened.
No, it is not what happened. But
It's
this
kind
is,
of it's creating a world where it's removing negativity towards Polanski's name, where he already gets enough credit from people in Hollywood.
I didn't even
though
think
he's
about
accused
that.
of this shit.
No. I think at that point it's a fairy tale, so it's not true. It's not saying anything truthful about Polanski whatsoever.
Yeah, but it's muddy
Why-
in the waters.
But
Oh,
why?
I
Why
didn't
even
think so.
do it?
Yeah, I didn't get it either.
Why?
Really?
Why pick this story to falsify? It's such a. I mean, like killing Hitler. I can kind of like, killing Hitler in the way they do in
Well,
Inglourious Bastards.
I don't see this as like, and you know me, I the idea of like taking like history and twisting it or not being true to the history annoys me to no end. Especially when they claim to do it like because they like what they did with Turing or any number of the historical films that we've seen when they actually just like what they do is they twist history for dramatic effect.
Mhm.
But this is so blatantly not what happened. It doesn't matter. It's
But what part of it didn't
it's,
happen?
It's fantasy.
A lot of
at
it
that
did
point.
happen.
Right. But the two characters, Brad Pitt and Leo, they're not real.
Can you watch this movie and say that happened, that didn't happen, that happened, that didn't happen?
Yeah, anything with those characters didn't happen. And then some of these other things, it's like the thing for me is like at the end of it, I don't care what's real or not. I just find it entertaining and they're just trying to capture the spirit of some things. So, and what they did, so the other parts of this movie where they thought.
Why do they need to falsify the story to capture the spirit?
Wait a minute. The things that happened in this movie that I really liked, which I don't really think we've seen before, is capturing the actor's struggle like DiCaprio's character trying to make it, like being sidelined. The other thing that I was impressed with in this film is I really liked Leo. I really thought he was good in this.
He was amazing in this movie.
I thought he was spectacular.
Yeah.
I was rooting for the guy. And that scene in the Western where he like kills it, they do the two things so nicely. They do the one scene where he's like, you have this like real awkwardness where he's not quite getting his lines, and you have the other character like, oh Jesus, I got to work with this guy. And it's hinting at like what we talked about, loving something that would be really fun to see is like, you know, when we hear the stories about what was going on behind the scene, it's, the filming of Chinatown or whatever, when things were really crazy or actors are just messed up. You know, we're only getting hints of that, but it still captures that tension for Leo's character and his scene in the dressing room where he's cursing himself out and I'm not going to drink again. We're going to have a drink.
Takes a drink. Yeah. That was great.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I just don't understand what the point of it all was.
Yeah.
Well, to me, this is like a bunch of vignettes. It's just showing the life of actors and trying to like, because I loved it. I was
no,
like,
I know,
just
but
getting,
why for the story? I'm saying
Well,
why?
why?
Like, what did
No.
it do?
No, it's not necessarily about the plot. I don't think it's
Right.
really
So
more
like the
about,
first
right.
2 hours,
Right.
throw it away.
Right.
Same movie.
So that's a really good point. I think that's maybe something that you're not going to get out of this movie. It's like the story isn't necessarily going to tell you
going
something.
to see a movie?
Yeah, I know. I
Story
understand.
arc, characters
Yes.
that matter, that kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah. Okay,
Right.
copy,
No,
copy.
what you're showing is just sort of, it's almost like these are vignettes, and it's almost like these are sketches. Like when Brad Pitt like reflects on why he's not allowed to be a stunt double because of the guy in the
Yeah,
you know,
that
the
was
Green
really funny.
Hornet,
I
and
threw
you
him
have
into the
Bruce
car.
Lee. All of that, like any number of these parts, are like there. It's almost like it's Saturday Night Live, and you're going to another sketch, right? And you're right. If you're looking for like, if you're thinking what you're getting is like a real thread, then it's not quite that. But it's not quite the same as Pulp Fiction, where you have these like really clear like segmented stories. Because the good thing about Pulp Fiction was, if you really want kind of like a story, is that they were like a bunch of short stories that were interleaved. And this one isn't so much like stories. It's just more like giving you these vignettes that involve these characters. And I was along for the ride. I really liked it. And I can see your guys' point where, or if that's, you know, at least TC, you know, the idea that's like, yeah, there's not like really a story arc here in a sense. You're just sort of like, you're just getting a glimpse of people's lives or you're getting a sense of stuff. But I liked it. I liked even like following Sharon Tate's character, seeing that she's like unknown and in a theater and she's just watching herself on screen, being sort of nervous, but then really enjoying how other people are laughing at the parts they're supposed to laugh at. I thought that was pretty cool. I haven't seen that yet.
But also,
terms
so
of
John,
trying
that's
yeah.
fine, but that didn't happen. And why make it about some real person if the shit they're doing didn't happen?
Right.
What's the point?
Right. What's the point?
That's
Yeah.
my take.
Man, for some reason, because these people are glamorized in the first place, they're almost like mythical anyway. Maybe that's
But they
why
were real
it doesn't
people.
seem...
Don't you think it would be more interesting if they actually just had what actually happened? Like,
Right.
I don't know why he
know-
just didn't do that.
I don't
Because
know.
no
man,
one was
but-
telling him no.
Maybe, but I still think I still was really interested. I saw this as once I saw the ending, then I saw the whole thing as a fairy tale, and I knew that some of it could be real, some of it might not be, and that's all okay. Because the ending is so blatantly unhistorically accurate, then
To those who know the
I'm not-
backstory, what about those people who
Right.
who are unfamiliar with the actual backstory?
Okay, well then Quentin Tarantino is spreading terrible propaganda about what really happened in
You're saying that sarcastically,
back
but isn't
then.
that true?
I am, but I don't. But what harm does that do in this sense? When
It kind of clears Polanski's name.
does it clear Polanski?
Yeah.
Why? Polanski does not signify in this movie. He's just there. He doesn't even do anything. You don't even hear the guy talk, I don't think. He's not. There's like nothing said about Polanski.
Right, but why
Right.
is he
He's
in
like
the movie?
he's like funny looking guy who dances funny. I think that's all I got from that. I got nothing positive or negative about Polanski from this film.
I guess you could see it as they make him sort of insignificant.
Yeah, he
But-
is. He is
but
in this film. He's insignificant.
Again, that is also
Yeah.
that's a tough one because like he's not insignificant for
but
a
he's
lot of people.
in the movie. He's in it. Like if he
No,
wasn't
I
there,
meant like in
if
a
he-
personal sense, like he's pretty significant. As far, like so, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. It was a weird story.
So the only thing I
it
can
was
think of,
weird.
John,
So I take away from this like I had great
being
moments with the
steamrolled,
film.
being steamrolled.
It's fine. I just enjoyed the moments of the film. I enjoyed watching Leo struggle with this character who was totally fictional, but is struggling to be an actor during this time in Hollywood. I thought that was meaningful and good.
I just thought it was
and-
so like there wasn't any point to it.
Yeah. Oh
just
wow,
wasn't.
it's interesting. Yeah,
John, I will say I enjoyed the entire movie up until the last like 4 minutes or something.
Oh yeah.
And then I started looking back to what I watched, and I was like, why was Polanski and Sharon Tate and all these people who are real even mentioned in this movie? It should have just been about the Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt character, false actors in Hollywood. Like, just keep all of that, cut the rest of it out.
Right.
And then even, and that would be the entire story that you need. Everything else is just like inserting itself inside this fake.
It is. But I almost
past.
think in that sense, it's like, but that's what Hollywood's all about. And it's all about these fake endings and this fairy tale idea of how life really could be. And so in that context, it sort of is brilliant. In this particular context, because it's Hollywood and it's all about fantasies and fairy tales and people getting their dreams to come true, it works for me. In any other context, I would be pissed probably. All right. And I totally get it. And I can't fault you guys for being pissed about it.
I'm not pissed.
Well, not pissed, but it's like the thing that I hate most of all is when they take like historical shit and they twist it for dramatic flair. Pisses me off to no end. But to me, for this setting, when it's Hollywood and it's actors and it's all about the fantasies anyway, it works for me. I thought it was brilliant because of it.
Huh.
In
this one case, I'm like, okay, you get a pass.
I think there's, John, I agree
know.
with you there, but he could have picked somebody else besides Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski. I feel like there's a reason why he picked them.
He picked them because arguably, like, I don't know. So I'm just off the top of my head, like that's where the Innocence ended or something in LA. Like you had the slaughter of a woman and her unborn
Dude,
child.
there's fuck. That's such a stupid. Like I've read that too, but that is such
I'm
bullshit.
making things up. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. I've said enough positive. What do you guys want to go and just?
I'll say positive too, man.
this.
Like I was laughing throughout the movie.
I was having fun. I was really having fun.
I couldn't even like hear myself laughing how hard I was when he was smashing one of those Manson followers' face into like 10 different things.
I was just like, Jesus Christ.
I was laughing my ass off because he kept like smashing her face into one thing like 10 times and then moving to a different surface and smashing her head into a different surface.
That was like the most face smashing ever.
Yeah.
I thought one thing was funny too is that they just it was just comical that in a way it's like a fuck you to the Manson people where Brad Pitt's on acid and he's coming in there saying, I'm the devil doing the devil's work. And instead of being afraid, he's laughing at him.
Yeah.
And I like that. In a way, that's saying fuck you to them because it's just like putting it in a different context. But it's also in a way
saying, hey, Sharon Tate, why couldn't you defend yourself? You got Brad Pitt over here high on drugs. He could still beat them.
No, I didn't get that at all.
He wouldn't have without the dog.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. Like to me, at least anyway, I didn't feel like that meant that somehow they should have been able to defend themselves or somehow
I definitely got that
this.
Because of the way it portrays the way it portrays women in this movie is pretty freaking terrible. The fact that like Brad Pitt's character is accused of killing his wife, but you feel okay about it because she's a nagging bitch.
Right.
It's still not okay to fucking kill her.
That I cannot excuse, and you are totally right.
The fact that Margot Robbie is portrayed
else.
like her friends have come out and they're pissed off of the movie. She doesn't like her character is complete. Like you could remove Margot Robbie from this movie, and the movie would be the exact same.
You could remove most of this movie, and the movie would be exactly the same.
She has nothing to do with the entire plot except for her inviting DiCaprio into her house at the end of the movie, which I don't know. I didn't think that was a very good ending.
Part of me then also thinks like, I mean, one interpretation of the film is this is all like DiCaprio's fantasy life. Like this is him like fantasizing how things could have worked out for him, and that not
Tarantino. You mean
what?
Tarantino?
No, DiCaprio's character. His character in the film is like fantasizing how things could have worked for him.
So you think the entire thing is inside what's his name's head?
Yes, because at the end he gets invited up there, and then he's going to end up being like buddies with them and being a Polanski film. But
oh boy,
I don't know about that one, John.
But you guys are totally right. I mean that we just especially like you're right on in the sense of like we're dismissing like. Yeah, Brad Pitt killed his wife, and that's okay because she was grumpy.
DiCaprio's wife
is
is some Italian girl who can't even speak English, but she's hot, so she can come over to the States and just be a woman who like sleeps with her little eye mask on, and
that's also fair.
So all of that stuff happened, and then it's Brad Pitt who takes on the people and kills them. He's the one who saves the day. It's Brad Pitt's
actually the best
action hero character
of the movie.
And
he's the best
dog.
character of the movie. He's the only one that has some substance to him.
And he's the wife killer.
Yep.
Yep.
Did he spear gun his wife in the stomach? Is that what
I
happens?
think he
That's
must
what
have,
I'm
yeah.
thinking. I mean, he's sitting there with the spear gun.
Pointed
Now,
right
they
at
don't
her.
say that it's rumored that he killed his wife and got away with it. You don't really see anything happen,
But don't you think that's kind of fucked up? How, and like especially this time in Hollywood, where you have all these Hollywood types excusing motherfuckers who do shitty things, and the movie is like
Quentin,
gives a sympathetic character who kills his wife.
Well, and Quentin in this movie is the first one he's done without the Weinsteins.
Yep. But he was doing it with him until the Weinsteins got in trouble
the
publicly.
scandal.
Yeah, and look how
Yep,
shitty
yep.
this one turned out.
Yep. Oh man.
I left the fucking theater and went to go get beer and stayed outside, texted my friend for a bit. I was like, I don't need to see this fucking movie. All I got to do is wait till the end so I can fucking be like, yeah, I just went through it.
Hey, at least the ending was explosive, huh? Flamethrower.
So wait,
yeah,
what did you miss? Where did you leave? I don't know. What you
probably
missed.
I got sick of it about an hour and a half to right at the hour
you got to
45
see,
mark.
like, you got to
I
see
only
Brad
went out
Pitt.
for like 5-10 minutes, but like,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, basically, you know what happens when you're in the theater, right? And you're in the center and you see someone going for the aisle to
You're like,
take
now's a
piss.
good time.
I was like, now's the right time.
Yep.
Now is the right time. I'm going to go get a beer, take a piss.
Nice.
And then I got a text from a friend, and it was in no rush. Even the ticket guy came up. He's like, "Are you all set, man? You were in there earlier." I was like, "Yeah, I'm just taking a break." And they looked at me like, "What?"
I think I left right around the same time. I left after the scene where DiCaprio talks to the little girl and talks about his book. That
Oh,
he's
what
reading.
a waste of fucking time that was.
That was
I just
it
don't
seemed
know,
like
man.
there was some drag in here. That's like a lot of stuff was sort of indulgent. It's like it
Oh
didn't
God,
necessarily
yeah.
need to
There
go
was
on
nobody
as long
telling
as it
them
did.
no.
Yeah.
There was
Dude,
nobody in
Brad
the room
Pitt
being
driving
like,
his
"Hey,
car.
edit that out."
There was scenes of Brad Pitt driving in a car with the
How
same
long
camera
are you going to
angles.
see fucking Brad Pitt
And
drive?
it cuts
Crazy.
to a
Like,
new song,
crazy
and he's
fast.
still driving, and it cuts again to a different
another
new song.
song.
And it's
Like, we
still
get it.
driving.
He's driving.
I was happy to be in the theater listening to this music blasting. I was like, man,
pathetic,
this is
John.
nice.
It's pathetic.
I was enjoying
Yeah,
it.
John, you need to get out more.
Yeah, dude.
I know. But hey, great soundtrack though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
it was
mean,
like
but
that use of
overkill. He was
music.
You know,
flexing his fucking muscle with it. It was
yeah,
too
this
And
much.
is
that's
just-
fine. But it was a great soundtrack. Great use of songs. I like the music.
Too
a lot.
much.
Just
much,
because you
yeah.
can get the fucking licensing doesn't mean you should use them all.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. You don't have to play like the whole song and then
I feel
switch
like
it. It's not like
Tarantino
you're not
just
there
bought
to
all of
listen
them
to
before he started
Spotify.
making the movie, and then he's like, oh, we got 3 extra songs, guys. All right, let's insert a 5-minute driving around scene and just play like half of 5 different songs.
Yeah.
That would be
I loved
good.
it.
I honestly.
And
I don't-
maybe
I don't
again,
get it.
like I'm just happy to go to a theater and be by myself and listen to music. But I was enjoying it.
Well, I'm glad you did because
Yeah.
I definitely
I know.
did not.
Yeah. It's like you just go home and listen to this music if you want to.
Yeah, like we can throw
You
a
know,
record
just
on.
sit there
dude.
and watch Brad Pitt drive fast.
Yeah,
Man,
I don't
Jesus,
know.
they drove fast. Crazy.
I just don't understand what the whole point of the movie was. It didn't do anything. There's no story. There's no likable characters. Even Brad Pitt's annoying.
Really? Well, and again, you like sit there and like DiCaprio's character goes out there and yeah, okay, they're mass killers, but he doesn't know that. And he's being a complete drunk dick to them in their car with his little pitcher of margaritas there, being a complete jerk.
I don't know,
I
man.
mean, that was funny, I guess.
There's
but
something.
like,
Why do I feel like that's kind of pissing on what actually happened? Just like falsifying something horrible.
So-
Can you
so
imagine,
I-
John?
I-
think about
so-
it. If
no.
you knew Sharon Tate when she
If
was
my
younger
family
and you
was
saw this
murdered,
movie,
right, okay. And my family was murdered, and Quentin Tarantino goes and makes a comedy about it.
she's like,
where
"Hey,
it
your
doesn't
murderer
happen.
actually gets killed by a drunk guy, and then also a big ass
And
dog,
drunk
and the guy
on
else,
acid,
yeah,
by the
acid.
way.
How would
Yeah.
you feel? And it's not just, I mean, just because you're not family with Sharon Tate, it's still like, why would you
Yeah.
bastardize history like this? Without a point. Like, I feel like there's no point to include them in the story.
See, so I mean, no, you're going to totally argue with me against this, I'm sure, but you can see this as taking what all of those people were part of, including Sharon Tate, which is Hollywood, and using it to sort of triumph over those people, to say that we can still tell a story where this never happened. So fuck you, you crazy psychopaths. And
That's
that's
fucked
the
up in
way-
itself. Because
Is
it did
'Cause
happen.
I don't. No, but it did.
Yeah.
But you still can say that doesn't mean
I
they
guess,
won.
but then he's saying it kind of marginalizes it a little bit.
Does it? Well, but the thing is you can argue one
Even
hand
if that's not
marginalizes
the
it, but-
intention, it does.
No,
and
but what if
it's
the
like-
intention is to say like, look, fuck you. That doesn't mean you win, even if you
It does
killed us.
because
We
they
can still
killed
tell
her.
our stories.
She's dead.
Yes, but that means you can still tell a story afterwards. Like you can still like celebrate what they did.
Yeah, tell
So
a true
I
story,
think-
celebrate what they did, and kind of bend it in a way. I don't know what this does. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
make her
Doesn't do
It
anything.
doesn't give me motivation to be like, oh, the movies prevail, or like, fuck those bad guys. Like we won,
No,
they were in
you're
prison
right,
or whatever.
you're right.
Doesn't do any
That's
of that.
fair too. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like
I'm trying.
the end is kind of like anticlimactic in the way where it's like, wait a minute, 4 of them died, and Manson's probably going to get away because they're not
that's the
caught.
point. Like, what happens to
And-
Manson now,
yeah,
right?
And now
If it wasn't
Polanski
for-
in this fairy tale land can continue making movies in Hollywood. Is that what Tarantino wants? He wants
Yeah.
Polanski to be in Hollywood
What
making
are they
movies.
going to do next? They're going to have a Weinstein come out and be like, well, what if he wasn't a prick?
What if
Huh?
same thing, John.
Yeah.
In 30, 40 years, if
Oh,
Weinstein just like, what if no young girls were attractive to Weinstein? Oh, then the
Yeah.
world would be a better place, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, look, the door opened. His pants are on. This could happen. I don't know. Play a good song from the 70s. Go. Yeah.
Is that different,
it's
John?
hard.
Is there a
I-
difference there?
No, I didn't feel it disrespected the murderers, and I'm not sure why. So
I couldn't even
mean,
give a shit about the murders at this point or the fucking movie. Because
Right.
honestly, it got to the end. I was like, oh, it's about Manson. Thank God this is over.
But was it? It wasn't even about him. It wasn't about anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't.
I don't know. This
again,
is, I
I'm
don't
usually
understand
very
the hype
sensitive to
behind
that
it.
stuff, and maybe I'm just happy to sit there and enjoy the film. And I liked Brad Pitt's performance, and I liked
Agreed.
the vignettes. I liked the whole Bruce Lee scene.
I didn't like the Bruce Lee thing. He wasn't
Oh,
that
yeah?
stupid. He was a very smart dude that didn't fucking talk like that.
Yeah, but it was funny, wasn't it?
There's
TC, it was
contrary
funny.
reports. I thought
Not
it was
really.
funny.
I
That's
thought
the
it
whole
was
thing.
stupid.
That's what this movie is. It's
Yeah.
like,
But-
doesn't matter if it's true or real. It's funny, isn't it?
Right.
And it's like, no,
Right.
it isn't.
And so it again is that's exactly the same point. It's like, well, were they trying to be realistic in terms of portraying Bruce Lee? And if they weren't, then
No, I know, but it's like
that's a
you're
really
talking
shitty
about
thing to do.
you're talking about like figures in history that like matter to some people.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. I guess I talk shit about people all the time. Like I said, nothing impresses me, right? But like I'm Terrence Mulhern, fucking going to work every day. Who gives a shit? When you have the power of creating a movie where people will go flock to it just because you did it, you shouldn't be fucking trivializing people's lives like that by making them Asian as fuck, making stupid noises and then getting thrown into a car. When
Yeah,
the
that's
dude
fair.
was like a pretty awesome person in
Totally agree.
kung fu culture.
It's not worth it for the laughs because I was laughing at that scene.
yeah, it's not worth it for
Well,
the
but there are like points of view that Bruce Lee was at least like also somewhat like that. I mean,
Oh no! He
there's
was an
not-
actor, right? In his head, in
Yeah.
his heart, but like at the same time, I don't know. It just wasn't. It just was stupid. It was stupid.
Yeah, that's
The movie
fair.
was dumb. Tarantino, I don't know what you were thinking. Come find me when I go do my 9 to 5 and don't give a shit anymore about this movie.
TC, you're on the fence. You're not. I think part of the reason this movie has such high reviews too is you're not allowed to talk shit on Tarantino.
Fuck that.
You're not. He's a fucking
I am.
god, dude.
Yeah.
He's a
I
goddamn
don't give a
Hollywood
shit.
god.
I don't know. I mean,
No
I
one's a
thought,
god.
in Glory, I was really bored by Hateful Eight. I never got through it.
I really like that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried
seen
to
that
watch
one
it
3
a couple
times
of
now.
times. Really? Ugh, I just got bored.
Huh.
I mean, I never got through like the first like half hour. Maybe I needed to go
What?
longer. I
You
don't
never
know.
got to Hattie's haberdashery, whatever the fuck, Maddie's haberdashery.
No, nope.
Oh.
Is that where it all comes to life?
Oh yeah, dude. They all get stuck in a cabin. It's like or not it. The Thing. It's like The Thing.
Really?
Yeah, dude. A lot of
All
it's
right,
like ripped
maybe-
off from The
maybe-
Thing. They
maybe-
have like the little strings to the porta potties. You don't know who's good, who's bad. There's a lot of like. It's really good.
There's a shapeshifter and some really cool like non CGI monsters.
No, but Kurt Russell's mustache is very big.
Kurt Russell, Jesus.
What do you think about the cameos in this movie, John? Were they all worth it for you?
The cameos.
I mean, a lot of the small roles. You got like
I love the
Bruce
guy doing
Dern and
Steve
shit.
McQueen, and I love that. In particular, that they were then later they talk about how DiCaprio almost got like Steve McQueen's role in The Great Escape. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And I like Steve McQueen. I just thought that one scene, and again, it's like almost a Saturday Night Live skit where he's like,
She used to go out with him, but then she met him.
Yeah,
and he
she-
still hangs around.
Yeah. So you see, the problem is that she likes short, dark-haired guys or whatever. I never have a chance.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I thought it was really
I thought that
cool.
was good.
I don't know.
But why is the scene in the movie? Why? Doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't further the story at all.
No, but that's like it's again trying to. It's just a bunch of vignettes, sort of almost, where it's like there's not necessarily that it's going to be telling you a whole story, except just trying to give you like this idea of how things were like then, even though it's completely not historically accurate.
Yeah, exactly. So really, why?
But I don't know. But I enjoyed these. I enjoyed more often than not the vignettes. I enjoyed it, man. I don't know what else to say.
Dude, I did,
liked
John.
it.
I'm
had
coming off
fun.
totally negatively.
I was
'cause
entertained.
I was entertained too. I was laughing most of the movie. I thought the whole ending up until the last 4 minutes where he just like, when it actually calmed down and I had seconds to think about like what was being said or not being said or the purpose of the movie and why it was ending the way it was. And I was okay with it up until probably they sent Cliff Booth, the Brad Pitt character, when he gets like ambulanced away.
Oh, right. And
As soon
like,
as
he's a
that
good
happened,
friend.
and then they just started talking, and I was like, oh, I can feel the ending coming up. Like, wait a minute. Why did they just do that? What is the point of that? That's not the way it happened. Is there a reason for this? No reason? No reason. Why even make it if there's no reason? If you're going to do something like that, you should have a reason.
Right.
And at least you should think about all the different implications people might read into, at least, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff you could read into in this movie, and Tarantino probably didn't mean any of it.
No,
but
he's just having a good time. I'm sure Tarantino's just having fun. He's just like, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? It'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool.
That much I agree with. I think that nobody was telling him no, and he was just able to spend the money however he wanted. And the edit didn't matter, and it was like, fuck it, this is you.
Yeah, he's just he's like, that'd be cool. Let's do this. This would be cool.
How long do you think it took everyone to agree on the dog biting the dude in the dick? Like 3 seconds?
Yeah. He's going to bite the dude. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, yeah,
right,
definitely bite him in the dick. Yeah.
Yeah. Why wouldn't we do that? It's a great idea.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, boy. What else you got, John?
That's about it. I mean, I think your guys' points are completely and totally valid. I don't disagree with them. I think I take away from the film still like that I have a new respect for Leo.
Nice. The very least, he's definitely going to be getting some award shit because he was. I mean, those 2 scenes you talked about when he was kind of flubbing his lines and then getting pissed off in his trailer afterwards.
Yeah, that was good.
Those are mostly ad-libbed.
Those are spectacular.
And he was acting, and he was acting at another level, so he was acting twice there.
Yeah,
right?
And then when he was acting, early on when he was forgetting his lines, to do that, I mean, just the way he did it, and then to go back in and show how he's like kills it.
And then he was good. He's good as an actor acting.
Threw the girl on the ground.
He's good as an actor.
I loved
acting.
it too. It's like, don't worry, I practiced throwing myself on the ground. You were
I
awesome.
have knee pads on or shoulder elbow pads. Yeah, like
I thought that alone was just giving us a little bit of. I like the idea of trying to understand the actor's struggle and what they're trying to do and what they're up against and what happens if you feel like.
But I feel like they could have examined that in a much better situation. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good. I think you're right. What if the other idea? It's like, what if you took all this like historical shit away and the crazies and everything and cut all that out and just talk about a struggling actor in the ending days of the golden age of Hollywood. I think you're right. That would have been a much more like cohesive.
It would have been a film,
right?
This was just like a fucking bunch of, like you said, vignettes. I guess I would call them just like situations strung together in a non-cohesive manner. That's like someone's hammered while they're fucking editing. But I don't know. I mean,
it also bothers me that this movie was like kind of over the past 3 years or however long it's been announced that this movie was going to be made, that it's been advertised as like the Manson family murder movie.
And it's not even close.
No, and people are going to watch this movie. This movie's going to last, Like, I don't know that much about the Manson family murders. I don't have an image of where these crazy assholes live, but this movie put an image in my head. Like, this movie's going to supply my brain false information on real things that are going to fuck with my own real history in my head.
Isn't about the Manson murders at all. You're right. It does not depict this stuff. You're right. And that is, this film isn't about the Manson murders, right? And obviously not, because it's
it is because it climaxes with the false version. Right. So it is.
For me,
but again,
but
why?
It's not.
Yeah. And it's weird I just liked how the movie tricked me about it and just went ahead and did the fairy tale ending, because at least for a moment I was like really tense about it, because I was like, I know the women's characters are marginalized in here, but I thought they did a good job of showing Sharon Tate as somebody who's like a just up and coming actress and enjoying her work and being excited about that.
She was a ditz, hot ditz. That's what her character was. I don't know.
There was a lot of feet in this one, by the way. Quentin's foot fetish really showing. Some real who puts their feet, like, when you stick your feet up in the car. I don't know if anybody in the history of the world has ever put their feet towards the driver's side when you're sitting in the passenger side.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
You put your feet up to the right. Who puts their feet up to the left? Ever.
If you got a foot fetish and the guy driving the car is like, hey, honey, get your feet over here. Huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Right. Geez. It was like, wait. Yeah,
also,
anyway,
do you think the makeup guy felt weird putting dirty makeup on the bottom of Margot Robbie's feet during the theater feet scene?
Right, so they can show that, yeah.
No. Makeup people have done probably far worse.
Well, but I mean, they did that, right? She was sitting in a chair and they were putting fake makeup for dirt on her feet.
Oh, yeah, of course. For sure. She showed up clean. Come on.
Hey, Margo, we got this bucket of dirt here. Walk around. All right? Just walk around in the bucket of dirt. All right, good.
Imagine that actually might be what it was.
It might be most realistic that way, you know?
Right.
Gotta go for realism.
So fuck the story being real. Let's just make the feet look real.
I got this 2 foot by 2 foot square full of dirt, Margo. It's cost me $10,000. It's the best dirt you can buy in Hollywood.
This is real dirt.
Right.
Hey, this is dirt from the original.
Man, I really
Universal
wish Harvey
set back
was
in
here because we got her
1940.
feet right in the center. Dude, it's in the center. He would have loved this.
There's the rumor that Leo had a no eye contact rule on the set. This is controversial, though.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I mean, I
Don't
could
look
see
at
that.
me. Yeah,
It's the first movie he did in 4 years. First one since The
It's
Revenant.
like Once Upon a Time crew told not to look DiCaprio in the eye, but DiCaprio himself denies this.
That's
Um,
weird.
that's weird.
But hey, if he needs that to do this, fuck it, whatever.
Don't
Well, I
you
mean,
look
it is
at me.
he was actually performing on this one, so I could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I've
Again,
been
yeah.
on set with
Yeah.
like actors that are, great actors, but they're no names, right? And I mean, when they're in their zone, dude, like I got caught. I got caught a couple times. Me, I can't keep my mouth shut, so I'm like sitting over there joking around with people, like and this person's trying to like get ready to cry. You know what I mean? Like, so there's like those moments that like I could see like someone being like, hey, no eye contact, fuck off.
Yeah. Hey.
And it not being Leo, but like an assistant or something being like, hey guys, no eye contact.
I mean,
here.
I can kind of see that. If you have a bunch of people looking directly at you, that you can feel that eye contact. Like if people are
I used
forced
to
to lay
love
grounds.
watching the levels. I used to love watching the levels because as long as you're watching the levels, you don't have any input in this fucking process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's like, I'm good.
Stare
I don't
at
even
the
need the
levels.
advice. I'm looking at this little box right here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Nope, I'm good. Just looking down. Nope. Everything's nominal. It's going to the red. No, it's not going to the red. It's going to yellow. Up, almost red. Let me turn it down. Anyways.
There's a fun little game we got going on here.
Yeah, it's a good game. Oh, where am I? I don't even know where I am.
Oh,
Okay,
everyone
it's
went
green,
home. I've been
it's
staring
yellow,
at the
it's red.
screen for 4
Fucking
hours too
yeah,
long.
yeah, right. I'm at the thing. I'm staring at the levels. I go home. I'm staring at the levels. I don't know where I am. Don't worry. No eye contact. Anyways, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're a weird self sound guy, I guess.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
one of the
Okay,
people?
that's a new
you got
character.
Timmy, you got TC, and you
A
got
Timmy,
the sound
weird
guy. Kind of sounds
self-sound
like
guy.
Brian Regan up in your head.
A little bit, but like kind of dumb though, not as funny. Yeah, I've got the levels.
He's dumb and not as funny as Brian Regan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to give some kind of comic relief to this terrible fucking movie.
Yeah.
But, it's been funny too because everyone around me has been fucking shitting on it. So I think
Oh, well,
what
that'd
we
be-
actually are touching on though, I think, which is probably why this movie will do okay, is that this discussion. That's all that's been happening.
In
So,
that
like,
way, I kind of like it.
It is definitely definitely a conversation piece at the moment.
Yeah,
Of course.
That's
So-
true. That's fair.
There is some value there because obviously the different opinions. It never gets like with this kind of movie. You're not going to get so mad at someone for not agreeing with you that you'd be like willing to be pissed, because it's almost like this movie's so dumb in a way that like you can hate it and then someone can like it and you're like, I don't see it, but whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like, the end of the world. Whereas like some of those other movies that are really painstaking, someone put their whole effort in. They fucking, oh my God, the soul, the passion. You got like some people really get bent out of
I think
shape
that's
if
part
you're
of what's
like, that movie
confusing about
sucks.
this
So,
because he wrote the script for 5 years. He obviously like the visual style of this movie is great. The way it's edited
Yeah.
together is great. Like this movie,
Yeah.
Tarantino's movies look like fucking movies all the time. Like they look
Yeah.
really fucking good. And I'm sure this movie's probably going to get some awards for, I would assume, cinematography and DiCaprio.
Possibly.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see DiCaprio get it.
Yeah.
I was
He's for
really
sure
taken it, but
like one of the
Yeah.
best performances he's ever done.
is the best performance where he's not fucking like suffering.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that
And it's weird too because actually, like when I was watching this movie, I thought it felt like a Scorsese movie a lot of the time. Well, with like
well, it's
the,
just because you
the
see
voice.
Leo is Scorsese movies lately.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
I guess.
Good point, John.
I don't know, man. I am starting to have a negative opinion of Scorsese lately. Just like I think Leo's much better without him. But I don't know. Yeah.
They want me doing Italian movies.
You know what I
the
thought was
fuck?
great though about this movie, and there's no way this is what it is, but the reason I'm pissed off at this movie is because of the implications it has in the background, and that's what Hollywood is. But there's no way Tarantino intended for that. You know what I mean?
No, he didn't.
Right.
He's just, Tarantino's a kid. Not a kid. I don't know. He just loves what he
or
does.
whatever.
He's not thinking about any kind of implications
But don't you think
like
it's
that.
confusing
He's
because
just having a good time.
He's so good in some ways, but then in
yeah,
other
but
ways
you can
he's
say
like
the same thing. I mean, in Kill Bill, he's like having a good time, and there's sex with a girl in a coma, and he's just having a good time. I mean,
Yeah.
that's his style. I don't think he's really thinking about what that means or doesn't mean.
But what do you think about like Inglourious Bastards? I feel like that movie, it made me respect him a lot more. And this movie kind of makes me think that Inglourious Bastards might have been a very freaking lucky mistake on his part.
No, Pulp Fiction was, well, I don't know. I haven't seen Pulp Fiction in a long time, so it'll be interesting when we get back to that one. But you're right. Inglourious Bastards has some amazing scenes. There are a couple of like set pieces that are some of my favorite, I think, of any movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting when we get to back to that one. But you're right. I don't know. Well, one question is like you wonder if there was somebody else helping him or advising him or putting the brakes on him in that movie. Who knows, right?
Do you know what his deal was with Sony with this movie?
Mm-mm.
So he dropped off with Weinstein when all those allegations came out in 2017. So once he did that, it was like an open bid for this movie because it was like a hot, obviously Quentin Tarantino script, hot friggin' ticket. People want to buy it up.
Yeah, sure, right. Brad Pitt, Leo. God,
well, they weren't signed on initially.
Well,
they
weren't signed on, but there were a lot of like. But it's Quentin. Like he can get good actors, right?
Yes, he can.
It's going to be. So yeah.
But anyway. so there was a bidding war and Sony won, and the I guess the contract was it was a $95 million production budget. Quentin Tarantino got final cut, quote, extraordinary creative controls, end quote, plus 25% of first dollar gross, which means 25% of whatever the cash value of like the first opening night is.
Damn.
Wow.
So, I mean, the final cut and also extraordinary creative controls. That just means like you can't argue with that in court, right? It's like they tried to tell me what to do, but I have extraordinary creative controls. Not full, extraordinary.
Yeah, you don't like it, get out.
So that might mean that he gave himself more freedom. Like, I don't know how much freedom he never really talks about how much control he has specifically in any of the interviews I've seen, at least. But maybe he had the most control ever because he wasn't working with Weinstein. I'm sure Weinstein, he was a producer. He gave pointers that might have helped. As ugly as that is to say, because it's fucking Weinstein. But like maybe some of his advice was good advice, or at least somebody else telling him what to do to like temper him down. I don't know. But this movie seemed kind of tempered down too from his other shit in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
because there
was stuff that really was super. I mean, like Al Pacino in there was just like throwaway almost, but he was there a long time.
Why him in that role?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's Al Pacino, but who is sort of subdued for Al Pacino. But yeah,
I got a little bit of trivia, guys. Just a very little bit. This movie's brand new.
It's hard to find too much because it's a new film.
Apparently, Leo and Brad were best buddies on the set. They are talking with each other about starring in another movie together, which is very exciting.
I mean, you can see that they work together well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they were good together. I really liked them both. And there was a good contrast between the two of them.
I think like Brad Pitt, even though he kind of came away being the star in a lot of ways, he really gave himself up to not being like the leading man in the movie, which made him more likable, I think, than
it was interesting because, I mean, other than the killing his wife part, which is like, why do they even need that there? It's again another like, why do you even have to put that there?
It would be good to put in there if you had something to say about it, but they just put it in there and we're like, there you go.
Right. But he's still like sort of the stoic good guy. Other than that part, because he's the one that sort of like is the tough guy. He's just quiet. He never got to be an actor really, but he probably wanted to be. But he just ends up being like in the shadow of this other guy who's a failing actor. Yeah, you're right. It works really well.
And hot damn, but Brad Pitt, 55 years old, dude, taking his shirt off in this
pretty
movie.
Good.
Holy cow!
I was jealous. I was like, God damn, dude.
And he
have a big ass gut by that time.
He's one of the so he has big guts between movies. If you ever see like pictures of him on shoot, he likes to drink. He eats regular food. Same with DiCaprio. DiCaprio apparently loves pasta and desserts and beer. And he had
he's already puffy. Look, DiCaprio is
but he worked out a lot for this movie. DiCaprio
really
did.
Actually, 90 million is kind of a low budget in considering everything and all the stars in this.
It is.
I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah. So everyone acts at a lower rate than they normally do. Both Brad Pitt and DiCaprio took $10 million each for the movie,
which is
low,
ridiculously cheap for them, right? Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson was almost in this movie. Jennifer Lawrence.
What would Samuel's role have been?
It was written in the script. Apparently, there was a character for him.
A different character that just got cut out.
Which got cut out before they started filming. There were a couple actors. One of them was Tim Roth, who actually filmed scenes, but then those scenes were cut out of the movie. The first cut of this movie was 4 hours and 20 minutes long.
Well,
Wow.
And we're gonna see that.
Jesus.
yeah,
on
well,
DVD.
I don't know if you're going to see that, but it's going to be available.
Oh, I'm gonna see it.
Are you
He's
going to
gonna
watch it?
see
I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch it.
Ah.
I feel like I need to redo my opinion on this movie, man, because I was enjoying it so much, and then the end happened, and then I went with like 3 other people, and then we're just like, why the hell? Why? Pretty much like what TC's saying. Like, what the fuck was the point of all that? Like, I was riding along,
understand.
I was expecting some kind of point, and then the movie ends, and you're kind of like, why the fuck did they
What
drag
the
along
fuck
these
was
people
this?
in here?
Yeah,
I can
right.
I totally get it, but also like it's rare for me to be so involved even in those scenes that I appreciated even that. So
Your
yeah.
bar
Wow,
is
you
so
are, yeah.
low, John.
I
Yeah,
know it
yeah,
is.
really.
It's
So pathetic.
it's not
So low.
necessarily- I guess it is low, but I also I really appreciated really like
I went to the
being in
barber
those
the other
scenes.
day, and
I
he
don't-
touched my
Yeah.
head, and now we're best friends.
Yeah, no, dude. I
I
really
don't
like the fact
know.
that the movie screen had things on it, and I was sitting in a nice chair and I'm looking at the screen and it had stuff on it. It was good.
Burt Reynolds was cast
Yeah.
originally as the person that Bruce Dern ended up playing in the movie.
Yep.
But he died before
Yeah, he
could do
died.
it. Luke Perry was in this movie. I did not
His last
see
film.
him because that was the scene. Apparently, I missed him when I was going to pee during that part.
But I saw him. I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Beverly
was
Hills 90210. There he is. That's what I said to myself.
like his last movie. He died in February this year.
That's right. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
This was
Let me go make
Tarantino's
fun of him
biggest-
some more, huh?
biggest
Yeah.
opening ever. So it was his biggest opening ever. So he got money straight off of that, right?
For the first
So
day.
he-
So we got I think
Yeah.
the opening night was like $8 million. So he got 25% of that. But there were reports where the studio was not going to give him the full 25%. I don't know if those reports are true or why they wouldn't give him the money in his contract, but hey, it's early. They could go to court, figure it out, I'm sure.
I guess
However
so.
the
Right.
fuck they do that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Tarantino also in his contract, I don't know why it says this, but it says he gets the rights back to this movie in 10 to 20 years. That's a
Interesting.
strange. Why would it be 10 to 20 years? Why not just 10? Why not just 20? I don't know.
Right. That is weird. How do you? Why do you? What like specifies whether it's 10 or 20?
Yeah. I
'Cause
I wonder
there's
if
a big
it's like
difference there.
budgetary stuff. Like, we'll give you X amount if you give us licensing fee, like licensing rights until
Yeah, you could
X
buy us
amount.
out after 10 years, or we'll give it to you for
Yeah.
free in 20 years.
in
or
20
something.
years, right? And then we'll give you an extra $100,000 on your budget.
Which is smart. If he does that with all of his movies, he can retire in just like, in 20 years. Hopefully,
I mean, he
keeps
can
making
retire
movies.
now.
He could.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
This is his second to last movie. Did you guys know that?
Cool. The last one better be fucking a doozy. 'Cause,
You know,
Wait a
the
minute,
last one's
what?
going to be?
what?
Have you heard about this, John?
No. What is this? He's like, really? For sure? I mean, and people say this all the time that they're going to be.
He's
that
been
this is the
saying
last
this
one, or
since Pulp Fiction, and he's still saying it, and he's talking about it now, and he's talking about what his last movie is going to be.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Oh, wow.
Is it really?
An
I know he's
R-rated-
been trying to.
R-rated Star Trek.
Has he been given permission to do that yet?
He's in talks with the studios about it.
Nice.
Dude, I don't even know what that would be.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm excited for that or not.
Oh, I think
Yeah, I
it'd
don't
be great.
either.
There'll be
Depends on, like-
aliens that are just feet.
What if it's just like a 2-hour long movie where it's a bunch of fucking weird aliens sitting around a table being like, all right, guys, we're going to go rob this jewelry store. And it's just fucking dialogue for 2 hours
I
in
don't care.
space.
I don't want to. I don't care if it's awful. I want to see it. Even awful will be interesting.
What else? Do we have any more? No, I don't. That's it.
That's it.
That's it,
All right,
guys.
Yeah.
So this movie is number 84 in the top 2 or 82, whatever it was, on the top 250 list right now. It's going to drop off. I guarantee it. But
Yep.
would you put it on the top 250? John,
I would.
you would.
Yeah. And it's all because of Leo, man. Who would have thought I would like just be so happy like to watch Leo? Who would have thought?
I have a new idea for this podcast.
Uh-huh.
It's not that new. It's
What?
kind of what we do. When a movie
Really?
that's new breaks the top 250, we go see it and do a podcast on it.
Oh,
I think
there
that's
you go.
fair. That's a fair point. I'm
Mission
all for
500.
that.
We're already
Yeah.
at least 20, maybe 15 episodes above the 250 with all the bonus
Yeah.
episodes.
I think it's a great idea. I like it because it usually means that there's something about that film, even if it's just hype. It still makes it worth seeing and talking
you
about.
better believe it's hype, baby.
Oh,
Fucking
you
Quentin
better believe
Tarantino. All right, TC, would you put it in the top 250?
What do you think?
Yes.
All right. Fuck it.
Yeah, whatever.
Doesn't matter. I'm going to go now. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you haven't seen it yet and you listen to this, you ruined it for yourself. So good job on that. And if you liked
I don't know.
it,
We
then
didn't really give
sorry.
away much of the movie.
The ending.
Well, the ending is, like I said, people, Doesn't matter.
I mean, if you were to enjoy it as much as John did, you probably would need to be in the exact mindset he was in, where you're thinking that
I don't
Sharon
think you
Tate's
would.
going to
If you're
die.
going to like this movie, you're going to just like it for whatever reason.
If you're just happy
Yeah.
to get out of your house for 2.5 hours,
then this is the movie for
you're
you.
going to have a good time.
That should be the trailer. That
And
should
you
have been
like
the
some
trailer.
good music,
Yeah.
and you like to see some really good acting
If
from
you
people that you
remember the
didn't think were good
70s
actors.
musically, you're going to love this movie.
The 60s.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever. Old times.
Whatever they are.
Yeah, thank you for listening, everybody. We're on all your podcast apps. Like and subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Write a review. Send us an email at mission250filmcast@gmail.com if you have any, I don't know, criticisms of our criticisms or whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, right.
We're on Facebook and Twitter. You can follow us there. And that's it, I think.
That is it.
Only one more
Yeah.
Tarantino, guys. Maybe we'll review it on this podcast one
We
day.
got Pulp Fiction, huh? We'll get there. Oh, maybe we'll get there to Star Trek.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Star
yeah,
Trek.
Inglourious Bastards and Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, we got
And
yeah.
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, Reservoir Dogs on here too?
I think so.
Oh,
Fucking
cool.
A.
Is it? I didn't know it was. I thought Reservoir Dogs wasn't on here. Oh, that's. I'm actually looking forward to seeing that one too.
Is number 78. Yeah, it's on here.
All right, good.
Sweet.
All right.
3 more Tarantino. What do you know? All right.
What do you know?
Since we're slicing in here, we're still doing the same movie next week that we said last week, which is The Treasure of the
Right.
Sierra Madre. It's coming out next week.
Mm.
So, yeah, thank you all for listening.
Wait a minute. I
What?
thought it's Batman. Didn't we already do Treasure
That's
of the
what
Sierra
we're
Madre?
doing,
My
John. We're
God.
slicing this
Please,
in.
yeah, we're getting it in,
my
bro.
God,
Pay
I'm
attention.
sorry.
Dude,
You're right.
I'm doing
You're right. We're
internet
slicing this in.
magic, John.
We know
I'm
what
sorry.
it is, John. It's just a series of vignettes.
Yes.
It doesn't need to make sense
But
at the
what's
end.
the point, TC? What's the point?
To
All right,
stave
on that
off
note.
the fear of death, John. That's the point.
Okay, fine.
All right.
Timmy, wait a minute. We didn't even hear
Oh.
from Timmy at all. Timmy, you got
Timmy's
any
gone.
thoughts?
Timmy's no longer with us. Timmy can't even muster up the courage to talk about this movie, let alone show
Holy
up. for
cow.
the
Timmy's
fucking
like
thing.
all curled up, whimpering under a blankie somewhere.
Fucking,
Oh, he's
I don't
there.
like Tarantino. I don't like him. I don't like him. Fuck. I had to suppress him in the theater. Like, what the fuck is this? You know, midway through. So that's when I went to get the beer.
Why are we home
Yeah.
drinking?
What the fuck's the matter with you people? This guy's a piece of shit. What the fuck? You know, that type of shit. Yeah.
Jeez.
All right.
All right,
See you
guys.
later, boys.
Later, guys.
All right, take care.